We taught them. We taught them how to do this. We taught them how to approach each other. And in our brains, we blow up and then like, oh, we need a censor. We need to do this. We need to do that. No, we need to be better human beings to each other. Not saying what you did is right. Not saying that it was okay, because it wasn't. But the best way for you and I to move forward is for me to look at you and have some empathy, to have some connection as a human being and go, yeah, maybe if I was in your shoes, wow, I get it. It ain't right. I get it. And for the health of you and me, I want to start forgiving you.
The familiar voice back on the podcast again to finish this conversation. All that and a whole bunch more is straight ahead. So let's go. This is the show dedicated to raising up the next generation of men of faith and character. My name is Mark Stanifer. Welcome to the Next Men Up.
Part of the NRT Podcast Network.
Well, hey guys, welcome to the Next Man Up. So good as always to have you with us once again today. Well, if you've been with us from the beginning, then you are going to recognize immediately the voice and the guest today. If you are new to the show and you haven't listened to the beginning or the first number of episodes, then this voice and perspective is going to be new to you. I'm so excited to have Alon Auguste back on the podcast with us today. Alon is a co-founder of the show. He's a great friend of the show, of what we're doing. He's a personal friend of mine. And like I said, I'm excited to have him back. For those of you that don't know, Alon does a number of different things, but during the day, he spends his time with a charter school here in the Metro Columbus area, working as a culture coordinator. Beyond that, his passion is to speak into the lives of young people through music, through preaching, through rapping, through dance, through any number of means to communicate to them the truth about who they are and about whose they are. And our conversations always come at the topic at hand from a different perspective when Alon is involved. That's because he sees things differently and he challenges each of us, including me, every time to see things differently as well. Today's topic around cancel culture is no different. We started it last time really focusing on what cancel culture is and what the problem is, why it's such a problem in the way that we treat each other and in so doing, model how to treat one another for our boys. In part two, and in the second half of this conversation, we'll get a little more into, okay, if not that, then what? What is a better way, and how can we live this better way, and how can we model it for our boys in the process of helping them to become healthy and godly men? That's what's in store in the second half of this fantastic conversation. It was so good to have Alon back. I'm excited to finish this and bring this to you because I know that you're going to enjoy it as well. So let's do it. Let's get to the second part of this confronting cancel culture conversation with Alon Auguste. Is this not what cultures have done, societies have done, people groups have done to other people groups for millennia?
Yes.
They might not have had Twitter or
right.
YouTube
or Instagram,
right?
Or whatever's out there.
They might
now.
not have been able to leverage algorithms to do it, but it happened. It happened. So this concept isn't...
It's not new.
It's not new. We have a fancy word for it now called cancel culture, or call-out culture is another way to... I've seen it described, but it's not new. We've been dealing with this for a long time.
And you know, it's funny, but like, I know not everybody out there follows, Jesus, and is is a believer and whatnot, and so I get that. But Jesus did talk about this idea of forgiveness. As we, there's a phrase that he used. He said, basically in layman's terms, you should ask for forgiveness, but you should also learn to forgive others. And I remember being young and perplexed by that. I think I was like, 16, wrestling with this idea of forgiveness after, the trauma that my family inflicted on me. Forgiveness. And so I say that because I'm walking it. It's not that I've walked it. I'm saying I'm walking it. It's a continual journey to walk out forgiveness. And what I found, though, about forgiving people and being a person who maybe not is like, quick like a draw to forgive, but like walks through the process of forgiving, is it's not only about the other person, but it's also about me. It's about me not allowing this eternal, dark, bitter hate, and whatever you want to call it, to grow in me, that it poisons me and destroys me and stops me from being all that I was born to be. Like so I get it, because I can hear some listeners out there go, so what about the ones who are committing sexual assault and harassment and the racist remarks? And I go, look, I get all that. I understand. And like you said, Mark, that's why I believe in justice. I think it's right that we face the things that we've done wrong and be held accountable. I totally agree with that. But then there's another part, though. It's the scene of an offender being hugged by someone who's been victimized. It's the scene of me at 16 walking into my mom's apartment, having her come home, not seeing her since I was 9, and be full of anger and full of rage towards her, and yet not walk that road. Instead, walk the road of, for what is better for you and what is better for me is to begin to walk out a road of forgiveness towards you. Not saying what you did is right, not saying that it was okay, because it wasn't. But the best way for you and I to move forward is for me to look at you and have some empathy, to have some connection as a human being, and go, yeah, maybe if I was in your shoes, wow, I get it. It ain't right. I get it. And for the health of you and me, I want to start forgiving you. I want to see if maybe possibly you may be able to live better and to do better. I want to give you that chance. That's powerful.
It is powerful.
That like, that to me, like, is where it's like cancel culture, if we're in the gym, is pushing 10 pounds of weight. This other thing that I'm talking about, forgiveness, that's more pushing like 500 pounds of weight. That's power. That's strength. That, if you allow that to grow in you, what a strong person you could become. What a better person you can become. To learn to love. And remember, you can't have justice without love. You can't have justice without love. And honestly, you can't have love without justice, right? Like, if we can learn to grow that in us, what stronger, loving, just people we can have living on this planet. I want that world. The question is, listeners, what do you want? Where do you want to head? And if cancel culture seems like it, well, have at it. You're entitled to whatever you want to do. But if you're listening and you're going, man, these two might have a point here, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to encourage you to step into it and begin to do your own research, to begin to walk it out for yourself, and then begin to teach it to your son and your children and see what happens, see what a difference it can make in our world.
So I love where you've been in your remarks so far, but I'm left with a question I would appreciate your response to.
Sure.
And it's this: what happens when I'm the one that gets canceled? Because I've said something or done something, even if it's not anything wrong, it's just against the grain of where the grain is moving, or against the culture, you know. It's just not pop culture. It's not politically correct or whatever. What happens when I'm the one that gets canceled? How do I navigate through that?
Oh, wow. That's a really good question. I believe in being present, and sitting with ourselves and our thoughts, and I believe that in meditating on the now. And so I feel like, for me, if I were to ever get canceled, I would contemplate, what does canceling mean, and why would someone do that to me? I would sit with that, and I would go, did I actually offend somebody? Did I make something wrong? How did I do that? And whichever the answer is, whether it's like, yeah, I did, or no, I didn't, I think there's ways to move on with that. First, though, I think that we probably want to work on, like, where are we at with ourselves? I think when people get canceled, I can see, like, the sense of, okay, my self-worth is done with. And I'm going, my self-worth has no, I don't want it to be affected by other people.
So if I'm not a part of the group, if I've been canceled, shunned, ostracized, who am I? That's sort of
that question,
kind of a crisis moment, if you will.
Yeah, like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, are you that circle that you were running with that just pushed you out? Because if so, my friend, you got some soul searching to do. Because honestly, you're more than that circle. That's not all that who you are. I love Lord of the Rings, man. I love it. I love that question. Frodo, he's pressing Gandalf into who he is, and Gandalf says, like, Gandalf is me. And it's so brilliant, yet so simple, that he's pressing that he is more than just meets the eye, more than what he just does, more than what he just says. He's Gandalf, right? And I go, that's me, that's you. We're more than, I'm more than just a rapper. I'm more than an MC. I'm more than just a speaker. I'm more than just an artist. I'm more than just a dad. I'm more than just a cultural coordinator. I'm more than all these titles that run in my sphere. I'm more than that, and I'm the sum of all of the things that I am, right? And like, for us to get canceled and all of a sudden our world falls apart, I question if we actually know who we really are. Because for me, I'm thinking, I'll be sad. Yeah, that's jacked up. And, there'll be some sense of like, man, I need to contemplate what the heck is going on here. But there's also a sense of like, I'm still deep in my core. I'm fine. Because what you say and who you say I am really doesn't matter at the end of the day. And for me personally, this might be for everyone, but for me personally, I have anchors in my soul that tell me who I am, that remind me who I am. Like, I take my cues of my identity not just from people around me or on the internet. I take them from Jesus. I take them from God, and he tells me that I am more. I am more than what people are saying. So there's that sense, right?
Yeah.
So, and then like if you if I find out that, as I'm contemplating, I look at things and I go, okay, knowing who I am, I'm good. I know who I am. I'm a good person. I'm more than just good. I'm Alon. I'm good, right? Like, I can then look at the situation and go, if I did something wrong, I need to make that right. I need to come out and just say it. Like, you know what? You guys, thank you, society. Thank you, culture. Thank you, community, for calling me out on this. This was wrong, and I need to make this right. And I apologize. But I got some questions. Have any of you ever done anything? I would go in, man.
I know you would.
I'd be like, have any of you ever done anything? Maybe you can give me some tips on how to make things right.
Right.
Like, how did you go about with the holding of the shame and the guilt of what you did? And how should I go about it? Like, some of you I know real quick, you probably tell me that, well, you need to jump off a bridge. But let's talk about reality, because I'm not doing that.
Right.
Like, you know, like, talk to me. Like, I would begin to ask questions. I would throw it out there, because I think that we should always press to build that empathy between each other. I think it's important that we do that. I think we need people to see, like not manipulate, but people to see, like, dude, yeah, you messed up, but so haven't I. So what do we do now? Right? How do we walk this thing forward? And then if you didn't do anything wrong, like, and you're actually pretty solid, like, I would still ask those questions. Like, so is it more that I did something wrong, or is it more that I offended your opinion? Those are two separate things, my friend. Two different things. And if I offended your opinion, I wonder if it's okay that you and I have different opinions. And I wonder if we who are having two different opinions, we can talk, we can acknowledge our differences, and we can engage in friendly debate to come to better understanding of why do you have an opinion the way you do, and why I have an opinion the way I do. But to call me out and tell me that I need to be exiled from the community, wow. I mean, did I do that to you? Having a different opinion because your opinion might have offended my opinion? Who's the evil one now? Who's the villainous one now? You know, like, I would press this stuff out with people. Now, would I do that online? Nah, I don't think so. I don't like responding to stuff online. I just don't. Here's the thing. I want to honor everyone that comes before me. So I would rather honor the person who's pressing someone with me to sit down and have a cup of coffee and talk things through, have a good meal, maybe take a walk together, maybe meet up somewhere and have a conversation. And if we can't do that, then guess what? You're not in my sphere. I probably don't really need to care that much about what you're saying.
So 3 things immediately jump out listening to you say that. One, social media platforms are not good places to learn and express empathy.
Mark, they're missing. They're great. Wait, let me back up. Yes, but there are great platforms to plant seeds.
So understand the platform.
But it's not the place to have
its limitations.
And its limitations.
Right.
But it's not the place to have fully engaging human conversations. Why? Because we're missing human elements. I don't know. I didn't see your face, in your eyes, in your body language,
right.
The different cues of a conversation that lets me know what's going on. All I read is a text.
Yep.
All I read is a text. And so the only having that, I can interpret it any way I want. And it could become very detrimental for you and I.
Agree.
Yeah.
Thing 2, which you're alluding to, which is that interpersonal dialogue, it's harder. Yeah. It takes work. It takes power,
Yeah.
strength, right?
Yeah.
But we're setting the bar higher, even if we don't always reach the bar, we're continually setting the bar higher. So what you're describing takes work.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to do that than just thumb out a 140 character response and think, boom, done. I showed that person.
Right.
Right?
That. Oh my gosh, that is such. You're only getting a snippet
Right.
of what's going on up here, like in the brain, like the body, like, it so annoys me, man. It's so I tell this.
I just triggered you.
Yeah, it annoys me because like I feel like we're doing ourselves a disfavor. Like I watched on Twitter once where two people were arguing about who's the greatest basketball player, and it ended up with one of them challenging the other to come to their city and the other one meeting that challenge because they weren't actually that far away. And I don't know how the story ends, but I'm going, is this how we want?
Doesn't that sound like 12 and behind the middle school?
Yeah.
On the playground.
It sounds barbaric. Are we not better? Are we not better? And you know the thing is, here's the thing, like, you said that it takes work, right?
Yes.
It is. It's effort. It means like putting in some work to have a conversation face to face and to talk things through. And I go, wow, we've really lost that art.
Yes, we have.
We lost that art. And then we wonder why our kids will do things and say things on social media that confound us and make us just go, oh my gosh, where did you learn that horrible thing? Like we taught it. We taught them. We taught them how to do this. We taught them how to approach each other. And in our brains, we blow up and then like, oh, we need to censor. We need to do this. We need to do that. No, we need to be better human beings to each other. That's plainly it. And that takes work. So guess what? We have to stop being lazy. You, I, everyone. We just need to stop being lazy. We need to work out what it is to be human, and we need to do it together face to face, not online.
So here's thing 3. And that is simply understanding who you give power to speak into your life, or to speak into your mind.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And if there is somebody that you're having a disagreement with and a debate with, or receiving attacks from, right? It's so easy to just post an attack, whether they call it or we call it cancel culture or not. It's so easy to express your opinion about somebody else. And in order for us to be stronger, better humans, we need some resiliency and some strength and some mental power to be like, I read your words, I hear your words, but I don't give them a foothold in my mind because you and I don't have a relationship. You don't have the ability to speak into my life and critique me that way because we don't have a relationship.
We don't know each other.
Right? And that doesn't mean I have to, quote unquote, cancel you.
No.
But I don't have to listen to you, and I don't have to believe what you say about me.
Whose voice are you listening to amidst the chaos? The one that you're listening to.
Right.
Like, that's plainly it. And honestly, like, if I don't got relationship with you, if you don't know me, I tell young people all the time when I'm speaking to them, it's like, I don't want to come in here and speak to you with the sense that I have authority to speak to you, because I don't. You don't know me, and I don't know you. So hopefully, in this time, as you get to know me, you can decide for yourself on whether or not you're going to listen to me.
Yep.
You know, and like, if you don't have any authority in my life to say anything, chances are I'm not going to let you into my heart. I'm not going to let you into my mind. I may maul on something that you say that maybe I go, that is interesting. I'm going to meditate on that one. That's an interesting thought. I might do that. because I'm an open guy and I hold things very loosely, right? And so I might do that. But as far as you having authority in my life and I don't know you, yeah, fat chance, bro.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
And that's the way I live my life. And I wonder if others need to live that way too. You know, I can't change the world. I remember people used to tell me, you're a world changer. And more I got older, I'm like, you're a liar. You know, like, dude, I am not Iron Man. I am not like, I'm not Thor. I'm not Captain Marvel. I'm Alon, man. I'm just a dude in his 40s who's trying to just do right. I'm trying to live this life the best I can. And what I know though is I can affect my sphere of influence, and I can embrace and pour in and love my family. I can love in my neighborhood and do what's right in my job and whatever. But like in those circles of influence, you better believe that I'm teaching forgiveness. You better believe that I'm teaching about making things right. You better believe I believe that we can repair things, that we can have justice, but we got to have love at the same time. I believe in all those things. And so I work that out. This is the way that I bring change in the world. Maybe it's a way that other people can too.
What a fun 60 minutes. Just to listen to you tease this idea out. I know you work with kids, and I love the picture that you painted about working with kids and then seeing adults and then connecting the dots, right? Like, what are we teaching them to do? Clearly, the adults were taught or guided in a certain direction. Are we moving our kids in a better direction? Are we moving them in a worse direction, in the same direction? Anyway, I love the picture you painted that and the perspective that you bring about justice in partnership with love, about living a better way. And I doubt that most people that enter a conversation around cancel culture come into it thinking there's hope and there's opportunity. And yet that's exactly how you come into this, right? That there is opportunity here. It's not Pollyanna and the sky is falling and woe is me. It's like, oh, hey, we have a moment. We have a moment, and we can capitalize on this moment if we're paying attention, if we're leaning in, if we're strong in who we are, in our identity, and we're mentally resilient, to not just receive some of these things as personal attacks or let our opinions be offended.
Exactly.
But we have a moment, and
a good moment.
It is a good moment. Yeah, listeners, I told you we would come at this from a different perspective. Guaranteed, that's what you get when interacting with Alon, and that's why I was looking forward to having this conversation with you, man. So thank you for coming back. Thank you for bringing it as you always do.
No problem.
It's fun to see you in action again, and we will have to do this again.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. Appreciate you inviting me here, man. This was an honor. I feel good. I feel good being home.
So listeners, I don't know what you process or take away or where this finds you. I don't know how you come into this topic. Maybe you're already there like Alon and you got it. Or maybe you come into it like me, a little bit more looking at the trees and missing the bigger forest that Alon painted for us today. Wherever that is, I just challenge you to not let this be simply information, but to process this and think about the example that you're providing for those that you are influencing, for your son, for those that are around you, for those at work, for those that look and talk and dress and act differently, believe, that have different opinions than you. How are you positively influencing them in the model that you have of your life that's on display for those that are looking? That's my challenge to you as you take this content away and go do whatever it is you're doing. May it not just be information that comes and goes, but may it lead to your continued development and transformation into the man that God has created you to be, so that you can raise your son to be the man that he has created him to be. That's our wish. That's our hope. That's our challenge to you. All right, we'll put a bow on this one. Alon, thanks again for being here. And do you want to say it with me? We still end the same way, right? Listeners, we will be back next time. Until then, adios. Hey, listeners, thanks for journeying with us on this Next Man Up podcast. We would love to hear from you. Maybe you have a question or an idea, perhaps a topic for us to consider. If that's you and you want to reach out to us, you can get us at feedback@thenextmanup.com. That's feedback@thenextmanup.com. Again, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time, we'll see you later.